Hello, law firm owners. Welcome to the Law and Quarter podcast, where we're not just aiming for the top, we're redefining it. I'm your host, Jaden Doye, your friendly CPA, with a passion for turning good firms into great ones. Whether it's networking, branding, or the nitty-gritty of growing your finances, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's get ready to make some waves. Today's episode is Social Savvy, Tweet, Post, Win. Today, we're going to be talking briefly about social media strategies and how lawyers can use this to exemplify their brand. The first question I'm going to answer is, why is social media essential for law firms today? Well, back in the day, before social media, a lot of lawyers would advertise via commercials. And nowadays, that's not necessarily the best way to promote for a lot of small firms, given the high cost and the low ROI if you don't have a lot of money. So what I recommend is using social media because it's a free platform. It doesn't cost anything to start a Facebook or Instagram page. It may cost a little bit to get someone to manage it, but to get started, it doesn't cost much. And to create content, as long as you have a good phone, I prefer iPhone, but some of the people out there have Androids. I think Android works as well. But as long as you have a good phone, you can create content that goes on social media, and there you go, you have your commercials. The other thing is that social media works with your Google search. So when we talk about growing your SEO, search engine optimization, your social media posts help you when people are searching for certain key terms. They help you get to the first page of Google. And a lot of times you don't have to pay for those posts to help you boost to get to the first page of Google. And on top of that, you want to be able to find your clients, or you want your clients to be able to find you in various different ways. Now, a lot of times when people are looking for service providers, we're not using the yellow pages like we used to use back in the day. Now we're actually using social media. They're either finding people via ads, or they find people that they just happen to connect with, or they're actually searching for key terms and hashtags and finding service providers. And the reality of the situation is, if you're not on social media, then your competition that is on social media will be scooping up those potential clients that should be coming to you. The next question I'm going to answer is how to choose the right platforms for your firm. So I believe in having an omnipresence. I believe that you should be on Facebook, Instagram, X, Meta, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, everything that's available to you, because putting more out there in the digital space actually does not hurt you. It only helps you. However, when we talk about what platforms we want to put more time and effort into, what platforms we want to focus on, what platforms we want to put ads on, you want to look at what type of engagement you're getting on these platforms, number one. You want to look at what platforms your ideal clients are on, right? So if you serve doctors, for instance, and most of the doctors that you serve are not really on Instagram like that, if they're on Facebook and LinkedIn, then those are the platforms that you want to put more effort into. Whether you're doing ads or you're doing a direct message strategy through social media, it's not really advantageous to be doing ads on all platforms if some platforms aren't going to help you reach your ideal client avatar. The next question I'm going to answer is, what content works best on social media for law firms? Like I previously said, I recommend educational content, and this doesn't mean giving legal advice. It's just breaking down legal facts. We're talking about what's at risk if someone tries to do things on their own. Also, behind the scenes content, when people see that you actually have a physical office, you actually have a team of human beings, and you're not just doing everything via AI, that type of content helps law firms. And having some type of free resource. So having a lead magnet would be very beneficial if it's just a quick checklist that people can use so that they can learn about the area of law that you practice in, the value of working with an attorney, the risk if they don't work with an attorney, That's the type of content that I see that's very beneficial on social media. Also, now we're in an age where we're talking about short form content, right? I usually recommend videos be 1 minute or less because people's attention span, unfortunately, is just not that long. Those type of videos do great on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok. Now, TikTok even likes shorter content. So with TikTok, we're usually talking about 30 seconds or less. But if you can effectively give a story using problem, action, solution framework, and you're really calling people out and saying, if you are a person that XYZ, then call my firm and we can help you, then people are more likely to convert. The next question is, how often should you post to stay relevant? I recommend ideally 5 times a week, right? For me personally, I post 5 times a week, at least 5 times a week, sometimes even on the weekends. And surprisingly, when I'm looking at my stats, I get a lot of engagement on the weekends as well. So sometimes we do post on the weekends. It all depends on when your avatar is on social media. But you'd be surprised how much content you can get just by doing one live, answering questions for maybe an hour. That can really turn into a lot of short form content. So don't feel overwhelmed that you have to spend days and days and days reporting content when in actuality, it's really not that difficult. What are the do's and don'ts of social media engagement? Well, different states have different rules, so I won't go too deep into this, but I will give a few tips. I recommend, in order to avoid the going against solicitation rules, a lot of times if you're just providing free value and there's a call to action in your social media content to call the office, then you're usually good to go. People will reach out on accord. Making sure that you have an easy way for people to either reach your office or schedule a consultation if it's appropriate. So for instance, if someone's in an accident, you don't want them to have to wait 2 weeks to schedule a call. They'll go to your competition. You want them to be able to reach your office quite easily and quickly. So having a phone number, having someone that always answers the phone is going to be important. I will say in the state of Texas that when you state what the settlement is, that if you're a personal injury attorney, for instance, and you're saying, we got this client a $2 million settlement, they also require that you state what the client got. And that is not a rule in every single state. So you definitely want to, whatever state you're in, look at what type of rules they have, because that one is a weird rule that I didn't even know until not too long ago. And I believe that not a lot of people know this, because I've actually seen quite a few attorneys in Texas promoting their settlements without giving the amount that the clients got. What is the best way to handle negative feedback online? Here's the reality of the situation. When you start promoting yourself on social media, you're going to have haters. You're going to have these weird people that don't have things going on in their life, that don't really like their life, and they want you to be not happy about your life. So what they're going to do is try to bring you down. I recommend you block those people. Those people that just say negative things for no reason, just block them and keep it moving. Now, there is sometimes constructive criticism or feedback, or sometimes people who misunderstand the facts that you're given. And that is great content. Actually, taking whatever they said, pinning that to the top of your video, and then replying in a professional manner and actually giving facts can actually make great content. The last question is, how do you measure success of your social media efforts? So every month we actually get reports back as far as how many new followers we had, how many people that we got from social media that downloaded our lead magnet, what our engagement rates are, how many likes we're getting, how many direct messages we're getting. So keeping up with the KPIs monthly is going to be very important to measure the success and really figure out what platform works best for you. And that's it for today's episode. Are you loving the gems that I'm dropping? If you're ready to take your law firm to the next level, why not book a complimentary consultation with me, and let's tailor these strategies to your firm. Just use the link in the description of this video. Remember, the sky's the limit, but why not shoot for the stars? And that's a wrap for this episode of the Law and Quarter podcast. I hope you're walking away with ideas that'll set your practice on fire in the best way possible. Hope you'll join me on the next episode. Until then, keep making it rain.